Hi everybody, it's been a while since I've done one of these, and go figure, when I'm making this video I have a cold, so I sound sort of nasally, so sorry. This is a picture for my friend Shauna. She lives, well, I'm not gonna say where she lives, that's kind of personal, but I went and met her over the summer for the very first time, and if you remember, we did a gift swap last year. Yes, last year. And it took us a while to get that gift swap together because we kind of set a really high goal for ourselves. But this time we decided to just do something simple. We put a $30 limit on our gifts, and it's kind of our Christmas and birthday presents, I guess. We put like a $30 limit on it. And we said we were each going to make each other a 4x6 picture, and we gave each other one word theme, and she liked my twisty trees, so this is actually the first twisty tree that is ever on my channel, and it is my own sort of series I've been doing. I created them when I was in senior year of high school, and I was just kind of bored, and I'm like, well, I like nature and I like free-flowing lines, so why don't we just try out something? And this is what happened, and I've done a lot with twisty trees over the last like 2 or 3 years, I guess, and I'm actually really proud of where it's come so far. Anyway, Shauna said she really liked my twisty trees, so that was my theme that she gave me, and she draws these adorable little cats, and that's what I told her that I wanted for mine, so like I'm really excited to see what she did for mine. And they're just small little pictures, they're like 4x6, about the size of like a photo you would get developed at like Walgreens or Walmart or something. And the pencil line around it is just, first she wanted to frame it, I just left a little bit of a white border so that she could frame it, and if the frame fit or not, there would be like a white border or not white border. Just a little bit of leeway for her instead of just having just the picture. So I was really nervous whenever I was recording this, and I don't really know why. I think it's because I haven't really done them much to be really like comfortable with it yet, especially the line art. The line art was just, I don't know what was wrong. It took me forever. I had to speed it up like double the amount that I'm speeding the coloring up on because I was just so nervous about it. I don't know why. It probably didn't help that I didn't really feel that good whenever I was making this. And I actually made a mistake right there. I actually colored in the wrong part. Like, yeah, right there I colored the right part in. And I actually end up going in with my colorless blender, and I end up lightening that part up so it matches the tree a little more. You'll see that, I think, in the next section. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I just went for a whimsical sort of picture for Shauna because she's really into like, I don't know, like her art is just so free flowing, and I was trying to like emulate that. I was trying to channel my inner Shauna whenever I was drawing this picture, and I really like how it turned out. I actually drew a separate picture that had a fairy and my twisty tree on it, and that's actually going to be in a different speed paint because I figured out before I finished coloring it that I like that one better, and I wanted to keep it for myself. So this is actually the second picture I've done for Shauna. The other one is now mine. So this is the Mach 2, I guess, of that drawing. But it's a little bit different. You'll see the other picture in a future speed paint, so I won't describe it in too much detail because spoilers. We also decided to do this picture all in black and white. So that is why I'm only using my cool grays. I used C1, C2, C3, C5, and C7 for this picture. And I also used a Sakura Jelly Roll pen in white that actually Shauna gave me. And I went in with some Copic multiliners and, did the outside edge, and that's why that outside edge that's actually in black is not like super straight, because I end up doing like a storybook look to it later on, and you'll see that later in the video. But I actually went in with my bigger sized multiliner, and I went in and did a few details here and there. So yeah, it was kind of a challenge video, or challenge art, I guess, because we gave ourselves one idea for the picture. We didn't tell each other anything else. And like, Twisty Tree was mine. And then we decided, oh, let's do it in black and white. And my original idea, it was my idea, but my original idea was to just do the line art and just practice like line weight. And I'm actually thinking of doing a tutorial about how I do line art. It didn't turn out very good in this picture for some reason. I think it's because I was nervous, because I haven't done that many traditional speed paints, but I'm actually really happy with how this turned out in the end. I think you don't see my flaws in the line art as much after I color it, and that's usually the case with anybody. But yeah, that might be a tutorial coming up. But our original idea was just to do line art and then like different techniques like hatching, cross hatching and stuff, and then we sort of broadened it to like, just do a black and white picture. No matter how you want to do it, just do a black and white artwork. So I don't really work with black and white very much because I really like color and I really like messing with color theory and stuff. So doing all this in black and white was kind of hard. Yeah, I guess it wasn't hard. It was a challenge, I guess, in a better word, because whenever you're working with color, a lot of people, miss the value part of it, and black and white is all value. It's all darks and lights. So trying to challenge myself to go darker in areas I probably could have gone darker in was a little different for me. It's kind of like, I don't know. It was a challenge for me because I'm trying to get darker in my works for college and stuff. So doing it on my own was just kind of like, oh, there's nobody like whipping me in the back to tell me to do it right. But yeah, anyway. So I don't really know what those flowers are. I was just kind of looking at flowers on Google and decided I'm just going to make up my own flower. So they probably look like some sort of flower, I assume, because there's like millions of different kinds of flowers. But these are flowers I came up with, and it was kind of funny because on the original sketch paper I did it on, I drew a little like sketch of like a whole flower, and then I just like, whenever I drew the flowers on the actual piece itself, I sort of wrapped them around the tree, as you can see with the one on the top there. And the one in the bottom right corner I really liked because the biggest petal that you see the most of reminds me of like one of Shauna's cats that she draws. And on the sketch paper before I had drawn it so that it looked like a cat, and it was really cute. And I actually didn't plan ahead that much with this picture. Like usually with my artwork, I will know what colors I'm going to use. And I guess because this didn't have any color, I didn't really think about it that much. I wasn't really planning anything ahead, like, what values I wanted for anything. I didn't really plan ahead anything like that. Like, all I knew was the vine going around it and the curlicue thing, that was going to be darker than anything else. That's all I knew. I didn't know what to do to make the other things pop, or, the flowers sort of, in my opinion, blend in with the trunk a little bit, but I sort of fixed that with the white Jelly Roll pen later on. And I knew the hills in the back were going to go from darker to light because that goes with atmospheric perspective. The further away something is English. The further away something is, the lighter it's going to be because there's more distance between you, and there are more like particles in between you and stuff. So that's just common atmospheric perspective stuff. So that was pretty much just what I was going on. And I actually looked up a Google reference picture for the ocean in the back, which will be happening sooner or later. But yeah, that's pretty much, I didn't really think ahead that much at all. Like, I didn't think about what values I was going to use for what. I honestly did not know. So it was kind of an experiment challenge sort of thing for me all the way throughout. And I think that's kind of why I was nervous too with this speed paint, was because I didn't really know what I was doing like I usually do with my artwork. So it's a little different. I'll admit it's a little different, and I'm not used to working in black and white at all. I'm usually used to a lot of color and messing with it, like I said, so this was definitely a challenge for me overall. And that little deer thing drinking from the river creek thing is an elk. I decided to put, just before, when I was sketching it, before I put that in there, it just looks so empty and sad, and it just needed something in there. So wherever Shauna lives is where elk are fairly common, I guess. I mean, here where I live, we have deer crossing signs. There they have moose and elk crossing signs. And whenever I went there, I was like, oh, that's different. Better look out for those. And we didn't really see any whenever I went to wherever she lives, the state she lives in. So, yeah, I don't know. I was really excited. I wanted to see a moose or an elk, and we think we saw one because there were a lot of cars in the way and they were like photographing this big blackish thing down there. But I mean, that could have been anything. So you can see that the ocean is darker, the sky is, it gets lighter toward the horizon. That's kind of the rule. And here I'm just doing that sort of storybook-ish looking outline. That was something I already knew I wanted to do because, just plain flat lines is boring. So I figured let's make it interesting, make it look like sort of a storybook or like an old photo, the rigid edges of an old photo. So yeah, that was another thing I actually planned ahead of time. A lot of this I didn't really plan ahead of time. So yeah, that's about it, I think. Oh, and this is just me going in with my Sakura Jelly Roll pen that Shauna actually gave me in our last gift swap. I'll put that in the description so you can see what we got each other. I think her video is linked in mine, so you can watch both of them there. Adding highlights is a new thing for me. I never had a nice white gel pen I could use, so this was a really big help for me in my art, and I actually really like how it works. It never fails me. And after that, I went in with my multi-liner right here, my 0.5 multi-liner. Oh wait, I lied. That's still my Jelly Roll pen. Anyway, I go back in with my 0.5 Jelly Roll pen. Multi-liner. Copic multi-liner. Let's get this straight, Haley. Okay. My 0.5 Copic multi-liner, and I add like darker dots inside the flower metals, whatever those are. I don't really know what that is. It's a thing. There we go. There's my Copic multi-liner. Overall, I really like how this picture turned out, and I actually am not sad to give it away. Like, usually I'm pretty sad to give stuff away, but because I kept the other picture, I feel like I'm okay with giving this one away. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video!